pretty big day in crypto is finally here. I'm talking about the SUI mainnet launch, one of the most anticipated, if not the most anticipated mainnet launch of 2023. SUI, if you've been following us, has been one of the hottest topics in crypto that we've been covering, but also many others, really in all of cryptocurrency for the last few months. So SUI has a lot of momentum on its side right now. And unfortunately, and to our dismay, SUI did not do an airdrop. However, SUI is still going to perform well, possibly up to 30x or more. And I'm going to provide you with 6 reasons to back up that claim in this video. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie. Guys, this is Altcoin Buzz. I wish you the best of luck if you choose to invest. But I'm not a financial or investment advisor. And so by extension, this video is not official financial or investment advice. Reason number 1. The team and its backers. So Miston Labs is the company behind SUI, and the core team consists of 13 people. However, there are 5 founders: Evan Cheng, Sam Blackshear, Adani Abiodun, George Denisis, and Kostas Chalkias. Their most recent experience is their involvement in Diem, and that was a digital currency for Meta, formerly known as Facebook, I guess. However, when Meta stopped the project, SUI was born. But during their time at Meta, they developed the Move programming language. We're going to get back to this important point later, but right now I want to re-emphasize the point that this is a very solid team behind the project. But that being said, besides the team, they also have a strong community. Although this community, like I said, was upset that there was no airdrop, but to be fair, SUI always insisted that there would be no airdrop. We were just, I guess, hoping that they were bluffing, honestly. Okay, they've got some very impressive backers as well that we have to highlight here. In their Series A of funding, they raised $36 million, and the lead investor was A16Z, also known as Andreessen Horowitz. In Series B, they raised $300 million, and the lead investor was FTX. It's not a name that we like, but the good news is that this did not hurt SUI, not to the extent that we thought it would actually. Some of their backers are also, for instance, Binance Labs, Accel Partners, and Benchmark Capital. These are some pretty serious names, and this is always a good sign that the biggest players really in this space, in terms of financiers, in terms of VCs, have confidence, have faith in this project. The second reason that we're super enthusiastic about SUI are the fast transactions. Because really we all know how annoying it can be if you need to wait for a transaction to confirm. Bitcoin, for example, it can take up to an hour. Ethereum can also have its moments where it's not very fast. However, SUI offers 120,000 TPS, or transactions per second. And in their testnet, they actually reached the figure that you see on screen here, 297,000 transactions per second. And then in addition to that, the time to finality was approximately 480 milliseconds. So that's the time between submitting a transaction and when it's approved. That is fast. Now, this is all because of the parallel transactions feature. So in other words, traditional blockchains execute transactions one by one in a serial manner, in a serial structure. However, SUI allows users to execute various transactions at the same time, i.e. in parallel. And then on top of that, SUI also scales horizontally. So this means that validators can keep adding computers, and of course more computers means more computational power, thus allowing even more parallel transactions. Reason number 3 here, not only are transactions fast, they are cheap. Low-cost transactions, that's our third reason. And there are plenty of other blockchains that do offer cheap transactions. Yes, we acknowledge that. However, SUI has an interesting feature and a great option here that is unique. In other blockchains, as we all know, transaction costs vary, quite a bit actually. Occasionally they're low, sometimes they're higher, it all depends. Just think of Ethereum here, I'm sure we're all familiar with the variability in that blockchain. They still have high transaction costs. The other day here, it went up to $60 in this example. It really all depends on network demand, as you know. But with SUI, they have what are called epochs that last 24 hours. And the end of each epoch can rearrange validators and their voting power. But another important thing is that during each epoch, gas prices remain stable. And besides being stable, they are also low. And by the way, the testnet has showed us this already. This allows for better planning of gas fees and pricing. And as a result, users have more profound understanding of what the costs will be. If you were a user of SUI's testnet, you know what I'm talking about. If this was the case, I'd love to hear your feedback. Let us know how you liked it and what your impressions were in the comments below. But moving right along, our fourth reason that we're super bullish on this project is SUI's ecosystem, because they already have a massive testnet ecosystem. In fact, hundreds of projects are lining up to get a piece of the mainnet action. And areas that you can expect to see are, for instance, DeFi or decentralized finance with SuiSwap, Araya Finance, and MoveX, NFTs or non-fungible tokens with SuiPunks, Hanako, and Fuddies, name services, so the SUI name service, launch pads like Clutchy, Tosin, Starspace, Meadow, wallets like SUI Wallet, Martian, Glass, Ethos, and Future, GameFi like Plasmaverse, Gameo, Trial, Extreme, infrastructure like Meta Oracle and Supra Oracles, plus bridges like Axelar, Wormhole, and Omni BTC, and plus there's much more to this ecosystem. These are just a few examples. It certainly promises to be exciting because new chains need projects to gain traction, and SUI seems to have plenty of that. In contrast to SUI, plenty of these projects have had many airdrops though, so stay alert as far as that goes. And just a note of warning, with new projects, there are also going to be a lot of scams out there or rugging attempts, so be careful and do your own research. That is always of paramount importance. Fifth reason why we love SUI, and I'm going back to what I alluded to earlier, it's the Move programming language. So SUI and Aptos both use the Move programming language, M-O-V-E. However, they each use different Move versions. SUI's version also differs from the core Move version, and the idea for Move is to become the JavaScript of Web3. And right now, Aptos and a few other chains use the Diem-based Move, but SUI has rewritten Move, so to speak. And this made it easier for them to write specific smart contracts, for example, for NFTs. And the original Move and Diem date back to even before there were NFTs, so it was worth rewriting. That was a good move. But effectively, this programming language affords greater safety and security, especially for an easy transition from Web 2 to Web 3, which is the focus here. All right, our sixth and final reason why we're big into SUI is very simply, they provide a better user experience. DeFi and TradFi primitives on-chain produce high-end user experience, and easy-to-use projects are going to have high numbers of users. And above all, SUI is targeting Web3 users. This has multiple implications, but one of them is that developers can offer upgradable NFTs, which is going to result in them being more valuable. DeFi and TradFi primitives on-chain, tokenizing assets, which is a current hot topic for blockchains, as you probably know. Just think of the current RWA or real-world asset tokenization. Plus, they offer rewards and loyalty programs. They can build complex games and social media networks with decentralized blockchain-based technology. At the end of the day, we as users can enjoy easy-to-use interactions with these dApps, and they're going to attract both developers and their apps and users to the chain. More users means more success, of course, and in the end, this is going to result in a higher price for the SUI token, SUI.